Most people believe World War I was the first global conflict. After all, the fighting stretched across Europe, Africa, the Middle East, and the oceans of the world. But what if I told you that another war earned that title more than 150 years earlier? A conflict fought in North America, Europe, India, the Caribbean, and on the high seas. A conflict involving nearly every major power of its age. A conflict that helped create the modern world. It was called the 7 Years' War, and many historians believe it was actually the first true world war. British and French forces first clashed in North America in a conflict many Americans know as the French and Indian War. Yet that struggle was only one piece of a much larger conflict. In Europe, Frederick the Great of Prussia found himself fighting a coalition that included Austria, France, and Russia. Prussian armies battled desperately for survival against overwhelming odds. Meanwhile, British and French interests fought for influence in India. The powerful East India Companies became military and political actors in their own right. At sea, rival fleets battled for control of trade routes, colonies, and global commerce. Unlike earlier wars, these campaigns were all connected. Fighting occurred simultaneously across multiple continents and oceans. For perhaps the first time in history, a war truly became global. The human cost was staggering. Some estimates place civilian deaths at nearly 1.5 million people. Entire communities suffered from military campaigns, famine, disease, and displacement. Prussia lost roughly 11% of its population. Austria suffered even greater losses. The 7 Years' War demonstrated just how destructive a global conflict could become. The economic consequences were equally severe. Britain's national debt doubled during the war. France approached financial crisis. Governments borrowed heavily, populations endured new taxes, and entire economies felt the strain of sustaining military operations around the world. The 7 Years' War did more than determine who controlled territory. It helped create the conditions for the American Revolution. Britain emerged victorious, but victory came at an enormous financial cost. Seeking revenue, Parliament imposed new taxes on its North American colonies. Many colonists viewed those taxes as unfair and increasingly resisted British authority. France faced its own crisis. The financial burdens of war weakened the monarchy and contributed to the instability that would eventually help fuel the French Revolution. Meanwhile, Prussia emerged as a major European power and laid foundations for a future German state. In many ways, the modern world was shaped by the consequences of the 7 Years' War. Military history is often remembered through famous battles and familiar dates, yet some conflicts changed the entire trajectory of world history. The 7 Years' War connected continents, transformed empires, and influenced revolutions that reshaped the world. Long before 1914, a global war had already occurred. History matters because people matter.
If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button. It really helps the channel grow and helps more people discover military history. Be sure to subscribe to HMS History with Michael Stroud for more stories from the battlefield, campaigns, and hidden corners of military history. And remember, history matters because people matter. I'll see you next time.